the differences between advocacy, mobilizing, and organizing. Advocacy doesn't involve ordinary people in any real way. Lawyers, pollsters, researchers, and communications firms are engaged to wage the battle. Though effective for forcing car companies to install seatbelts or banishing toys with components that infants might choke on, this strategy severely limits serious challenges to elite power. Advocacy fails to use the only concrete advantage ordinary people have over elites, large numbers. And then she goes into what mobilizing means and how that's different from advocacy. Over the past 40 years, a newer mechanism for change seekers has proliferated: the mobilizing approach. Mobilizing is a substantial improvement over advocacy because it brings large numbers of people to the fight. However, too often they are the same people, dedicated activists who show up over and over at every meeting and rally for all good causes, but without the full mass of their coworkers or community behind them. This is because a professional staff directs, manipulates, and controls the mobilization. Staffers see themselves, not ordinary people, as the key agents of change. To them, it matters little who shows up or why, as long as a sufficient number of bodies appear. Enough for a photo good enough to tweet and maybe generate earned media. The committed activists in the photo have had no part in developing a power analysis. They aren't informed about that or the resulting strategy, but they dutifully show up at protests that rarely matter to power holders. Third approach, organizing, places the agency for success with a continually expanding base of ordinary people, a mass of people never previously involved who don't consider themselves activists at all. That's the point of organizing. In the organizing approach, specific injustice and outrage are the immediate motivation, but the primary goal is to transfer power from the elite to the majority, from the 1% to the 99%. Individual campaigns matter in themselves, but they are primarily a mechanism for bringing new people into the change process and keeping them involved. The organizing approach relies on mass negotiations to win, rather than the closed-door deal-making typical of both advocacy and mobilizing. Ordinary people help make the power analysis, design the strategy, and achieve the outcome. They are essential and they know it. But organizing means the actual ability for us as ordinary people to have a power analysis, to build a strategy based on our perspective, our experience, our expertise, and then actually go through with an action, be the ones who take the risk.